What would you do if you were judged solely by your appearance and not recognized for your true worth? Do you have enough courage to stand firm and pursue your dreams? Jose, an ordinary American farmer, devoted his entire life to the fields and manual labor, embodying the image of hardworking, steadfast people who never stop dreaming. He grew up in a poor family where everything had to be exchanged for sweat and effort. But in the heart of that simple farmer, a grand dream always burned brightly: to own a private jet. Not to show off or flaunt wealth, Jose wants this plane to serve his work, make it easier for his family to travel, and above all, to prove to himself and those who once looked down on him that no matter how big the dream, as long as there is determination, it can become a reality. On a beautiful morning, Jose drove his old pickup truck to the airport, carrying excitement and determination in his heart. The simple outfit, the frayed shirt, the faded jeans, the dust-covered shoes, and the familiar straw hat, was all he owned, but he didn't mind. That is the image of a farmer who has worked his whole life to turn dreams into reality. When stepping into the high-end sales area, Jose immediately felt the difference. The space was dazzling, with lights reflecting off the glass and shiny steel surfaces. The modern airplanes lie still in the exhibition area, each one like a symbol of luxury and power. The staff here all wear neatly tailored suits, with serious expressions and attitudes full of confidence and a touch of arrogance. But when Jose walked in, the space seemed to pause for a moment. The eyes immediately turned towards him, not out of admiration, but out of a mix of curiosity and disdain. Jose did not dress like a jet setter in their imagination. Whispers began to spread. What is he doing here? Looks like they just stepped out of a farm rather than coming to buy something expensive. Jose felt every glance, every sarcastic remark, but he didn't let it discourage him. He continued walking, keeping his head held high, heading towards the aircraft display area. His eyes lit up when he saw a small, luxurious airplane that he had studied thoroughly beforehand. That was the dream he had nurtured for many years, and now it was just a few steps away from him. A sales associate approached Jose, but not with a warm smile or a welcoming demeanor. Instead, the employee's gaze swept over Jose's clothes, the dusty shoes, and then stopped at the straw hat. He couldn't hide the contempt in his voice when he spoke. "Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with? Or are you just looking for fun?" Jose, still keeping his composure, replied, "I want to see this airplane. I am considering buying it." Jose's answer surprised the salesman, but instead of showing respect, he chuckled lightly, as if it were a joke. "Do you want to buy this plane?" "The price of it isn't cheap," he said, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "We only serve truly serious customers." Jose didn't answer immediately. He looked deeply into the employee's eyes, then slowly walked closer to the airplane he had dreamed of. He placed his hand on the body of the plane, feeling the coolness of the metal under his fingertips, as if to affirm that this dream was his, and no one could take it away. Meanwhile, other customers also began to notice Jose. Some people pointed fingers, while others did not hesitate to make mocking remarks. "He doesn't belong here. Maybe he just came here to take a few photos. Someone like him buys a plane? Don't joke around anymore." Each word was like a dagger, but Jose didn't let them bring him down. He knew he belonged here, not because of his appearance or the clothes he wore, but because of the determination in his heart and the dream he had pursued all his life. With a determined look in his eyes, Jose turned back to face all those who were mocking him. "I didn't come here to impress anyone," he said softly but clearly in his heart. And that was the moment he decided. No matter how many prejudices he had to face, he would not back down. His dream deserves more than that. Jose stepped closer to the airplane, his eyes sparkling with admiration. But at that moment, he felt the atmosphere around him gradually becoming suffocating. The sales staff, in a neat suit and with an arrogant attitude, maintained a bland smile, unable to hide their impatience. He glanced at Jose from head to toe, his eyes seeming to say, "Do you really think you belong here?" "Sir," the salesperson spoke up, his tone dripping with sarcasm, "this airplane is not cheap at all. I can recommend other products to you, more suitable." Jose, still keeping calm, replied gently, "I don't need anything else. I am considering buying this one. Can you help me find more information?" Jose's confident and calm demeanor surprised the employee somewhat, but he quickly masked it with a half smile. He shrugged, as if he was sure that Jose was just wasting his time. The mockery spread. Not only the employees, but also the surrounding customers began to pay attention to Jose. Curious glances quickly turned into scrutinizing, disdainful looks. The sound of giggles echoed from a corner of the room. A woman in an elegant fur coat whispered to her companion, loud enough for Jose to hear, "He looks like he just stepped out of a farm. It's funny that he thinks he can buy a plane." The man next to her burst out laughing and replied, "Maybe he came here just to take a few photos to show off. Who knows?" Those words were like daggers cutting into Jose's self-esteem. He felt his face burning, but instead of reacting, he took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. He told himself, "I came here for my dream, not to prove anything to them." The sales staff, noticing the increasingly contemptuous atmosphere towards Jose, continued to show disrespect. When Jose requested more detailed information about the plane, he responded impatiently, "Sir, this is a high-end product. We only serve truly serious customers. Are you sure you want to continue?" Another customer, standing not far away, spoke louder, as if intentionally letting Jose hear, "Someone should show him the way back to the farm. He doesn't seem to fit in here at all." The laughter grew louder, echoing throughout the space, making Jose feel as if he were isolated among a crowd full of prejudice. But instead of leaving, Jose clenched his fists, his eyes shining with determination. He looked straight at the salesperson and said, "I didn't come here to be judged by my appearance. I came here because I want to turn my dream into reality. Please show me more information about this airplane." The salesperson was slightly taken aback by Jose's response, but still maintained an arrogant attitude. He shrugged, speaking as if he wanted to get rid of Jose as quickly as possible. "If you are really serious, I will consider it. But do you know its price? This is not something that everyone can afford." Jose clearly feels the discomfort and prejudice from those around him. The scrutinizing looks, the harsh words seemed to try to demoralize him. But Jose did not let those things defeat him. He thought of the years of hard work in the fields, the dreams he had kept in his heart all these years. "I've come this far. I can't back down just because of a few disdainful looks," he told himself. However, the pressure is increasing. A group of customers started laughing louder. Some even took out their phones, preparing to take pictures of Jose as if he were a joke. One person in the group shouted, "Hey farmer, stand near the airplane. We will take a picture of you. It will definitely be very interesting." This time, Jose couldn't hold back anymore. He turned back, faced them, his gaze no longer shy but full of determination. In a deep yet strong voice, he said, "I am not here to be anyone's laughingstock. If you think that I can't buy this plane just because I'm a farmer, then you are making a big mistake." Jose's words silenced the room for a moment, but instead of feeling embarrassed, those around him continued to mock him. However, Jose knows that he has nothing left to lose. This is the moment to show everyone that a person's worth is not in their appearance, but in their determination and will to rise. As Jose approached the airplane he had dreamed of, the atmosphere around him seemed heavier. The scrutinizing gazes were no longer hidden, but became bare and full of contempt. Some customers did not hesitate to point at him, accompanied by sarcastic remarks. "Take a picture of him. He probably thinks this is a museum for free tours." That's a joke. Perhaps he came here just to see the plane with his own eyes, because he will definitely never own it. Those remarks were no longer whispered, but said loudly enough for Jose to hear. A guest, holding a phone, deliberately walked around Jose as if looking for the best angle to make a mockery. The salesperson, who was already impatient, now openly insulted Jose in front of the crowd, no longer hiding the contempt in his voice. When Jose requested to see more information about the airplane, he shouted, "Sir, I think you are wasting my time. These planes are not meant for people like you." The insulting words rang out clearly, causing those around to laugh in agreement. Another customer chimed in, "Does he really think he can buy a plane? Don't waste our time here." The salesperson, instead of stopping, added more sarcastic remarks. "If you are not capable, it's better not to pretend. We have truly serious customers who need to be served." Jose stood in the midst of a whirlwind of mockery, acutely feeling the isolation and insult he was enduring. Each word, each disdainful glance was like a dagger cutting into his self-esteem. But instead of collapsing or running away, Jose took a deep breath and maintained his composure. He thinks about the years of hard work in the fields, the days and months of relentless labor to save every penny. He told himself, "I'm not here to be anyone's joke. I'm here for my own dream." Although he was offended, Jose did not react angrily. Instead, he maintained a calm yet powerful tone when responding to the salesperson. "I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here because I want to buy this plane. If you don't want to serve, call someone who can." Jose's answer momentarily silenced the atmosphere, but soon after, mocking laughter resumed. One guest said loudly, "Who does he think he is to dare speak like that? Go back to your straw hat and your fields." But Jose did not back down. With a steadfast gaze, he looked straight at those who mocked him, without needing to say another word. That is the powerful silence of a person who does not let prejudice defeat their dreams. At first, the mockery and scrutinizing gazes struck hard at Jose's self-esteem. He felt his face burning, his legs wanting to turn back through the door he had just walked through. The thought of leaving this place, avoiding those judgmental gazes, briefly crossed his mind. But at that moment, another feeling arose. It was not anger, but pride, a strong belief in his own worth. Jose thought about the months of relentless work, the times his hands bled from plowing the barren fields. He recalled the reason why he was here, not to seek acceptance from critics, but to turn a lifelong dream into reality. Jose took a deep breath, his calloused hands clenched tightly as if to gather strength. He told himself, "I've come this far. No one has the right to stop me just because of how I look." With that determination, Jose stood tall, his eyes shining with resolve. He didn't let the harsh words make him falter. Instead of leaving, he continued towards the airplane he had long dreamed of, despite the mocking laughter still echoing behind him. Jose stopped in front of the sales clerk, who was standing with arms crossed and a look of disdain. But this time, Jose no longer felt ashamed. He looked straight into his eyes, his voice deep but firm. "I have made it clear that I want to buy this plane. If you don't want to serve, let me speak with someone who has a more professional attitude." The employee was momentarily taken aback by the change in Jose's attitude. He did not expect that this seemingly simple farmer could speak so calmly yet firmly. Nevertheless, this employee maintained a contemptuous attitude, responding with a sarcastic tone. "Are you serious? The price of this plane is not for people like you." Jose did not answer immediately. He kept his gaze calm on the employee, letting his silence speak volumes. That is not weakness, but the strength of a person who has endured too many prejudices and humiliations in life. He wants them to understand that his worth does not lie in appearances or what they think, but in his own will and determination. "You are right. I am not like your other customers," Jose finally spoke up, his tone calm. "But I don't need to be like them. I'm here for my own dream, not to please anyone. Jose turned around, walked slowly towards the airplane, ignoring the gossip and mocking glances around him. He no longer paid attention to the mocking laughter or the malicious comments. Each step he takes is a declaration that he will not be judged by appearances and that his dreams deserve to be realized, despite the prejudices he faces. Jose's determination and steadfastness not only helped him stand firm in a high-pressure situation, but also changed the atmosphere in the room. Some people around him began to fall silent, realizing that Jose was not someone easily subdued. But for Jose, the most important thing is not what they think, but that he has overcome his fear and decided to face the challenge, to continue his journey of conquering his dreams. When the mocking voices still echoed in the air, Jose stood tall, his resolute gaze fixed directly on the group of people who were ridiculing him. His voice rang out, deep and warm, yet full of strength. I came here to buy a plane for myself, not to impress anyone. Jose's words not only stunned the crowd, but also created a strange atmosphere. The mocking words suddenly fell silent, giving way to curiosity and surprise. The sales staff standing nearby paused for a moment, but still maintained a skeptical attitude. Not wanting to raise any more suspicions, Jose pulled a neat envelope from his jacket pocket. With a slow but decisive motion, he took out a check for the exact amount to buy the displayed airplane. He placed it on the counter, his gaze unwavering. This is the amount of money sufficient to pay for the plane I am considering. If you still think I can't afford it, then take a good look at this check. Silence enveloped the entire room. The looks that were once filled with contempt have now turned to confusion and astonishment. Some customers, who had just mocked Jose, now bowed their heads, avoiding his gaze. The sales clerk, who had been arrogant before, was now stammering and speechless. The previous mockery is now just a distant echo. A sense of embarrassment was evident on the faces of those who had once looked down on Jose. The salesperson tried to regain a professional demeanor, but couldn't hide the embarrassment. He bent down, speaking in a hesitant tone. I really don't know. Sorry if I misunderstood you. Jose maintained a calm demeanor, neither smug nor angry. He simply replied gently but firmly, whether it's a misunderstanding or not, the way you treat others clearly reflects your own values. I don't need an apology. I need respect. But Jose didn't stop there. He took out his phone, called his son, an experienced lawyer who was always his pride. In just a few minutes, Jose's son appeared at the airport, looking confident and polished in a dark suit. Dad, are you okay? The boy asked, his sharp gaze sweeping over the people in the room. Jose smiled and replied, I'm fine, but I want you to handle this matter. You can't let others insult you just because you look different from them. The son nodded and immediately demanded that the sales staff and airport manager explain why they treated Jose that way. Those who had previously been arrogant now bowed their heads, trying to justify themselves. But the excuses only made the situation more awkward. After receiving the reluctant explanation, Jose turned to look at everyone in the room, his voice steady yet strong. I came here not to cause trouble, but to pursue my dream. But what I received was not respect, but disdainful looks. It's not just a personal insult, but also a failure of compassion and justice. I will not let this pass. He placed his hand on his son's shoulder, as a declaration that they would do everything to restore justice. The atmosphere in the room became heavy, but Jose did not let it discourage him. He left with a confident demeanor, ready for the next steps to defend his honor and assert his worth. Jose and his son decided not to let the incident at the airport be forgotten. They filed a lawsuit against the company for discriminatory behavior and defamation. The lawsuit is not only an act of defending Jose, but also a strong statement that no one has the right to judge the worth of others based on their appearance. During the preparation process, Jose's son gathered all the necessary evidence, from Jose's testimony to recordings and witnesses. The struggle is not only about honor, but also about emphasizing the importance of respect and fairness in society. In the courtroom, when the company's lawyers tried to justify that the incident at the airport was just a misunderstanding, a witness unexpectedly appeared. That was Patricia, an airport employee who had quietly recorded the entire incident that day. Patricia stepped up to the witness stand, her gaze resolute and full of emotion. She said, "I have witnessed everything. I cannot remain silent when I see someone being treated unfairly just because of their appearance. I recorded the insults and discriminatory attitudes that Jose had to endure." Patricia presented the recording in court, making the atmosphere in the courtroom tense. The mocking and sarcastic remarks from the sales staff and customers rang out clearly, serving as undeniable evidence of the injustice Jose had endured. After reviewing the evidence and listening to the testimonies, the judge issued the verdict. It is clear that Jose has been severely discriminated against. A person should never be judged based on their appearance or background. The court ordered the company to financial compensation. The company must pay Jose a large penalty to compensate for the damage to his honor that he has suffered. Organize awareness training. All company employees must participate in training on awareness and equal treatment to ensure that similar incidents never happen again. Before concluding the trial, the judge made a strong statement. Appearance is never a basis for judging a person's worth. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect, regardless of where they come from or what they wear. This is a lesson not just for the defendant, but for all of us. The court's ruling not only brought justice to Jose, but also made a significant impact in public opinion. Jose's story became a symbol of the struggle against prejudice and injustice. Those who once mocked him at the airport now have to face the consequences of their actions, while Jose maintains his dignity and determination. When stepping out of the courthouse, Jose stood under the warm sunlight, his eyes shining with relief and pride. He knew that he was not only protecting his personal honor, but also helping to remind society of the true value of humanity. After the court's ruling, Jose received compensation from the company that had offended him. Instead of feeling bitter or harboring strong intentions of revenge, Jose chose to express his victory calmly, yet with great significance. He decided to turn that money into a meaningful step towards his dream. Jose sought out the competitor of his former company, a unit renowned for its professional service and respect for customers. Here, he was welcomed with warm attitudes, free from scrutinizing glances or sarcastic remarks. After a careful consideration process, Jose chose to buy a plane that was much better than originally intended. The day he received the new plane, Jose felt as if a new chapter in his life had just begun. But Jose didn't stop there. He decided to return to the airport where the incident began, not to seek revenge, but to affirm his self-worth and send a powerful message. Jose walked into the airport, this time with a confident and calm demeanor. The employees who had once mocked him were stunned when they recognized his presence. Their eyes shifted from surprise to confusion when they saw Jose with the team of employees from the rival company and his new plane parked on the runway. He stopped in front of the sales counter where the insult had once occurred. With a deep yet commanding voice, he declared, "I am not here to make peace, but to affirm that respect is something everyone deserves, no matter who they are. I will buy a plane, but not from you." Jose's words echoed in the silent space, causing those who had once looked down on him to bow their heads. No one dared to respond. Only regret was clearly visible on their faces. Jose stepped onto his new plane, a satisfied smile on his face. He left the airport, not only with a new vehicle, but also with pride and the affirmation that a person's worth cannot be determined by the gaze or prejudices of others. When the plane landed in the small town where his family lived, Jose was welcomed into the warm embrace of his wife and children. Standing in front of the familiar fields, watching the plane glisten under the sunlight, Jose felt a sense of completeness. He had not only achieved his dream, but also maintained his dignity and self-respect. Jose's experience is not only a personal victory, but also a profound lesson in self-respect and the power of perseverance. Jose has proven that, even when underestimated or treated unfairly, as long as we have faith in our own worth, we can rise up and assert ourselves. With a gentle smile, Jose said to the family, "We don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just live true to our values, and that's enough." Jose's joy did not stop at the realization of his dream, but also in the message he left for everyone. Always stand firm, for true value lies within you. The story of Jose is a clear testament that the true value of a person does not lie in their appearance, how they dress, or their background, but in their will, effort, and self-respect. Jose taught all of us that no matter how others perceive you, you deserve respect and have the right to pursue your dreams, regardless of difficulties or prejudices. Never judge others solely by their appearance. Those who mocked Jose revealed their own narrow-mindedness. Appearance is not a measure of a person's worth. What matters is character, self-respect, and the things they dare to stand up for. Patient and determined to overcome prejudice, Jose did not let the insults and disdainful looks make him falter. Instead, he used his calmness and unwavering will to assert himself and overcome all challenges. Self-respect is the greatest source of strength. In the most difficult moments, self-respect helped Jose stand firm. When you are confident in your worth, nothing can defeat you. Jose's story leaves us with a thought-provoking question. What would you do if you were misjudged? Do you have enough courage to stand up for your values and pursue your dreams to the end, despite the prejudices or challenges you face? Let your answer become an inspiration for yourself and those around you.